Hey guys, in this month's top 5, I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite book adaptations on the TV screen. I tell you what, you guys, this was a difficult top 5 for me to compile because there's so many TV shows I've watched over my lifetime, TV shows based off of books, and so many great adaptations, and it was so difficult to narrow this list down. But the thing is, the 5 that I've chosen, they all came to me relatively quickly. So my biggest dilemma there was trying to figure out how to rank them. So I don't know, maybe this ranking means nothing. At number 5, I have Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, based off of the book by Susanna Clarke, and this was a 7-part miniseries, I believe was the episode count, and it was put out by the BBC. I loved this miniseries. It was so good. It's what inspired me to finally pick up the book, and I loved the book just as much as this miniseries. Though I gotta say, since I did view the miniseries first, part of me actually prefers the miniseries because the miniseries cut out some of the clunkiness of the book, if that makes sense. And this is just a beautiful, spectacular adaptation of the book because the book is just so whimsical and magical, and it's this cross of Charles Dickens and Jane Austen and J.K. Rowling, and I feel like the miniseries managed to accomplish all of that and live up to that whimsical, magical nature. And oh my god, talk about the beautiful effects and the costuming and the hair and the makeup, the sets, just everything was absolutely perfect about this mini-series. And if you love the book, this is definitely a must-watch, I think. And I haven't even told you what Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is about. It's about these two rival magicians set during the Napoleonic Wars, and it follows Mr. Norrell, who is like this older gentleman who's been doing magic for a long time, but then in comes Jonathan Strange, who becomes his pupil, and he's really young and charismatic, and he quickly kind of flips everything on its head and starts using magic differently from how magic has been used in the past. At number 4, I have The White Queen, based off of the book series The Cousins' War by Philippa Gregory. Whew, this miniseries, you guys, it was 10 parts, I believe. Originally aired in the UK, but then came over here on Showtime. This miniseries is absolutely breathtaking. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you should know by now Philippa Gregory is my #1 favorite author. I love historical fiction. I loved this mini-series. I cannot stress that enough. It does the books justice, I think. And if you don't know what The White Queen is about, it takes place during the War of the Roses, and it follows these families who are all competing for the throne, essentially. Sound like Game of Thrones, anybody? So yeah, we're following Elizabeth Woodville and Margaret Beaufort and Anne Neville and some of the kings of that time period, being King Edward IV and King Richard III, leading on up to King Henry VII. And like I keep repeating with this miniseries, just so utterly breathtaking, had so much emotion and depth to it, and I loved all of these characters. I mean, seriously, you gotta watch for just Richard III, you guys. I think the guy who played Richard III, Andrew Barnard, he kind of stole the miniseries, in my opinion. So yeah, if you're a fan of the Cousins' War series by Philippa Gregory, and you haven't checked out this miniseries, what are you waiting for? Get on it. This miniseries was so freaking good from start to finish. Never a dull moment, in my opinion. And supposedly a sequel series is in the works, basing it off of The White Princess, which is following Elizabeth Woodville's daughter. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I hope it's just as good as the White Queen miniseries. At number 3, I have Outlander, based off of the book by Diana Gabaldon. Outlander is only in its second season at the moment, but damn. Outlander has quickly risen up as one of my top favorite TV shows based off of a book. If you don't know what Outlander is about, it follows this woman named Claire who is living in the 1940s, and one day her and her husband go on this second honeymoon to Scotland. And just out of nowhere, Claire, she goes to these magical stones and she gets teleported through them, and all of a sudden she is thrust into the mid 1700s, where she encounters these warring Scotland clans and the British Army is there, and she also develops an attachment to the hot red-headed Jamie Fraser. So yeah, Outlander is this unique mix of not only historical fiction, but a little bit of fantasy and a lot of romance. And Outlander is just such a unique historical show in general. It's such a unique premise, and it doesn't shy away from very difficult concepts. But yeah, what I'm trying to get at with Outlander, it doesn't shy away from taboo subjects. It goes full force into those subjects, is very daring in that matter, and really pushes those subjects right in front of your face. And like I said, it's only into its second season. I just continue to be blown away with this whole show, the casting, the beautiful locations they go to. Oh my god, the clothing, everything. Just this great precision of detail, I think, which is what makes Outlander so special. At number 2, I have The Walking Dead, based off of the graphic novel series by Robert Kirkman. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I'm not really a zombie person. When I first heard about this show, you know, I was kind of thinking of really stupid modern zombie flicks, if that makes sense. So I kind of went into The Walking Dead thinking, oh, this is going to be just so stupid, it's not going to have any depth or layers to it. And by the end of the first season of this show, I was absolutely blown away by the storytelling, the characters, the things that it explored, and this whole notion that the zombies are not really the monsters. It is actually humanity itself that are the monsters, and humanity that actually does the most harm. That it's people on people killing each other more so than zombies killing people. And season after season after season, The Walking Dead just continues to be so good, in my personal opinion. It raises the stakes every single season. There's some people who just loved, absolutely hate on this show, and I don't get it. I love every season, like I said, including season 2. A lot of people think that season 2 is like the weakest season. I don't get it, because I loved season 2. And I'm super excited for the next season. It's starting to get into some territory from the graphic novels that I really loved as far as the storytelling goes. So yeah, I'm excited. And at number 1, if you haven't guessed already, is Game of Thrones, based off of the series A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. Game of Thrones, if I had to rank it as far as just television shows go in general, Game of Thrones is my number 1 favorite show of all time, and I do not exaggerate that. Game of Thrones is just such a unique show. Not only is it a fantasy show, but it's kind of a political show in some ways, you know, dealing with the politics going on in this fantasy realm of Westeros, all of this court intrigue, court politics, all of these millions of characters trying to go after the Iron Throne. I watched the first season of this show. That is what inspired me to finally pick up the books. I freaking loved the books. They are easily some of my favorite books in the fantasy genre. And Game of Thrones just continues every single season to dominate, in my opinion. It just keeps getting better and better and better with such great storytelling. The locations are beautiful. The cast, oh my god, don't get me started on the cast. Game of Thrones has one of the best casts on television, I think. And even great CGI. This is a TV show, you wouldn't expect good CGI, but this show has terrific, stunning, amazing CGI, I think. So yeah, that's it for my top 5 TV shows based off of books. These are my personal favorites. So you guys, in the comments below, what TV shows based off of books do you guys like? Like I said earlier at the start of this video, there's tons. There's tons of shows out there based off of books, too many to even count. But yeah, what are your personal favorites? Just tell me down below. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.